The National Education Policy (NEP 2020) and the National Curriculum Framework for the Foundational Stage (NCF-SE) lay emphasis on creating a 360-degree multidimensional holistic progress card that captures the uniqueness of each child and records their progress throughout the academic year. Parakh NCERT has created a holistic progress card for the foundational stage to capture the learner's performance in the different domains. You can find Parakh's holistic progress cards by logging on to the NCERT website at www.ncert.nic.in. Let's take a look at Parakh's holistic progress card for the foundational stage in detail. This card is divided into three parts A, B and C. Part A is divided into subparts 1 and 2. Part A1 collects general information about the learner, which includes name, address, information about the parents or guardians, and the attendance information. In Part A1, learners are encouraged to share their interests. This is filled with the support of the teacher. It's important that learners feel included in the process of mapping holistic progress. Part A2 encourages learners to fill in certain information about their family, friends, and favorite things. This will also be filled with the support of the teacher, but learners are encouraged to fill this with maximum independence. Let learners draw their favorite things to make things more fun. Let's look at some key terminology used in the foundational HPC framework. Awareness, sensitivity and creativity are essential abilities. Awareness encompasses knowledge, attentiveness, perception, and full engagement in activities. Sensitivity involves managing emotions, thoughts, and behavior while being attuned to peers' emotions and needs, and approaching conflicts with open-mindedness and empathy. Generating innovative, original and flexible solutions to problems is at the heart of creativity. Looking at a situation from different angles is also an important aspect. In the HPCs, the three abilities are measured at three levels: stream, mountain, and sky. Stream is indicative of the challenges faced by the learner that prevented age and grade-appropriate performance during the activity and suggests the requirement for additional support. Mountain is indicative of the potential demonstrated by a learner towards successful performance. The learner still needs support to accomplish the activity. Sky is indicative of successful performance in a particular activity wherein the learner required minimal external support. Part B presents a framework that will be used for different classroom activities across domains like physical development, socio-emotional development, cognitive development, language and literacy development, aesthetic and cultural development, and positive learning habits. When the teacher plans an activity, they are encouraged to map it to the relevant curricular goals, competencies, and learning outcomes. They need to record the activity flow based on their plan. The teacher then writes the assessment questions based on the activity. Then teacher writes rubrics for the three abilities across three performance levels. Remember, the rubrics are created based on the activity and what we expect learners to do and achieve in the activity. Once teachers observe a learner, they mark their performance on the grid for each ability. They mark the appropriate levels for each ability here as well, followed by some observational notes. Teachers are encouraged to note down what the learner did well and what they need further support with. Self-assessment is an important aspect of holistic progress mapping. At the foundational level, learners are asked to record their feelings about the activity done and the resources needed. A peer is assigned to the learner and the peer shares peer feedback about the learner with respect to the activity. Finally, parents and guardians are also involved in the assessment process during parent-teacher meetings and interactions. Parents are asked to record the learning resources they have at home and share any observations about the learner's performance. Part C is a summary of the academic year. Teachers are encouraged to write a summary of the holistic development of the learner across all domains and use the three abilities: awareness, sensitivity, creativity as the assessment metric. Let's hear from the users of the Holistic Progress Card. How do you feel after doing this activity?
Yay! Amazing! Good. Yeah.
How has the HPC helped you in the classroom?
Planning activity is better.
Assessing learners. Observe learners in an organized manner.
It has helped me do useful activities.
Parak hopes that the Holistic Progress Card at the foundational stage will lay the foundation for measuring lifelong holistic learning. Let's go through Parak's Holistic Progress Card for the preparatory stage. The Holistic Progress Card is divided into three parts: Part A, Part B and Part C. Part A is divided into three sub-parts: Part A1, Part A2 and Part A3. Part A1 collects general information about the learner, which the teacher mostly fills. Part A2 is designed to help learners fill in some information about themselves. Part A3 includes a self-assessment template learners fill out about how they feel at school. A similar template is filled by two peers identified by the teacher. Parental involvement is crucial at this stage, so they are encouraged to share some input about their children. Part B presents a framework that will be used for different classroom activities across domains and curricular areas. When the teacher plans an activity, they are encouraged to map it to the relevant curricular goals, competencies, and learning outcomes. They need to record the activity flow based on their plan. The teacher then writes the assessment questions based on the activity. Then the teacher writes rubrics for the three abilities across three performance levels. Once the teacher observes a learner, they mark their performance on the grid for each ability. The teacher is encouraged to note down the challenges faced by the learners and how they overcame them. Self-assessment is an important aspect of holistic progress mapping. Learners are asked to assess their performance in the ability they have completed. Part C serves as a comprehensive summary of the academic year, prompting teachers to evaluate students' performance based on learning standards and assess their holistic development through the metrics of awareness, sensitivity, and creativity. Let's hear from the users of the Holistic Progress Card. How has the HPC helped you in the classroom?
Learning is so much fun for everyone.
Do you like filling this page?
Yes!
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Army officer, police, pilot, Fauji, teacher.
Parak hopes that the Holistic Progress Card at the preparatory stage will make the learning journey of children holistic and enriching. Let's go through Parak's Holistic Progress Card for the middle stage. The HPC is divided into three parts: Part A, Part B and Part C. Part A has four sub-parts, A1 to A4. Part A1 collects general information about the learner, which includes their name, address, information about parents or guardians, and attendance. To encourage self-reflection and help learners make informed choices during their learning journey, Part A2 enables learners to reflect on their academic and personal goals, their strengths and their learnings. My Ambition Card Part A3 helps learners identify their ambition and work towards it. It also encourages learners to identify people and resources to help them achieve this ambition. At the middle stage, the role of parents is extremely crucial. Part A4, the Parent-Teacher Partnership Card facilitates a conversation between the teacher and the parents about the learner's current strengths and challenges faced. At the middle stage, there are 3 abilities: awareness, sensitivity, and creativity. Awareness is related to having knowledge of the activity, being attentive, perceptive, and fully engaged in the activity. Sensitivity is all about managing emotions, thoughts, and behavior, being attuned to the emotions and needs of peers during the activity, and approaching conflicts with open-mindedness and empathy. Generating innovative, original, and flexible solutions to problems is at the heart of creativity. Looking at a situation from different angles is also an important aspect. The abilities are measured at 3 performance levels: beginner, proficient, and advanced. Beginner is indicative of the challenges faced by the learner that prevented age and grade appropriate performance during the activity and highlights a need for additional support. Proficient is indicative of the potential demonstrated by a learner towards successful performance. The learner still needs some support to do the activity successfully. Advanced is indicative of successful performance in a particular activity wherein the learner required minimal external support. Part B includes a framework that will be used to assess different classroom activities across subjects. When the teacher plans an activity, they are encouraged to map it to the relevant curricular goals, competencies, pedagogies during the activity and the material needed. The teacher needs to record the sequence of the activity. The teacher then writes the assessment questions based on the activity. Then the teacher writes rubrics for the 3 abilities across 3 performance levels. Make sure the rubrics are created as per the activity and what we expect learners to do and achieve in the activity. Once the teacher observes a learner, they mark their performance on the grid for each ability. Learners assess themselves based on their experience of the activity and circle the applicable statements. Later, the teacher writes the number of statements circled for each ability. The same process is repeated with a peer. Finally, the student progress wheel is filled by the teacher using the feedback shared by them, the student, and a peer. Finally, the teacher identifies areas of strength of the learner, barriers to success, and how they can help the learner progress further. This wheel provides a holistic overview of the learner's performance in the activity and the feedback shared by all stakeholders. Part C is a summary for the academic year. Teachers are encouraged to mark the performance level descriptor for each ability in each subject across 2 terms. Let's hear from the users of the Holistic Progress Card. What do you like about the HPC?
I have got to know more about what I do well. Thinking about the activities, what I did and how I did it helps to understand the challenges better.
What motivates you to use the HPC regularly?
Planning activities has become easier and more interesting.
With the help of assessment wheel, I am able to see how my learners are performing in various activities. It's so useful.
Parag hopes that the Holistic Progress Card at the middle stage will make learners active participants in their learning journey. Parag's Holistic Progress Card for the secondary stage is divided into 6 parts. Part A, B, C, D, E, and F. Part A1 collects general information about the learner. Parts A2 and A3 include goal setting and time management, aspects that are crucial for learners at this stage. Through self-reporting and introspection, Part A4 encourages learners to think about their future and express how they feel about it. Learners plan their future goals and think about how to manage their time efficiently. Part 5 is an accomplishments inventory that learners fill throughout the year, marking progress in different aspects of holistic development. Part A6 encourages learners to think about life skills they have developed and skills they need to harness. It also suggests several online courses for upskilling and earning course credit at the secondary stage. The overall focus of Part A is to prepare learners for their future outside the school education system, irrespective of the choices they make. Part B is related to group project work, which is divided into 3 stages. The teacher plans the project and aligns it to subjects, curricular goals, competencies, and integrates it with different pedagogies. A project task prompt is shared with the learners, post which they brainstorm and create guiding questions. In stage 1, they create a project schedule and divide the tasks among the group members. There is learner reflection and teacher assessment at this stage, focusing on the brainstorming and planning process. In stage 2, the project is halfway through and the teacher assesses learners based on the progress made. Stage 3 is done after the project is done. The teacher creates assessment rubrics to assess the contents of the final output of the project. That is followed by learner reflection and peer feedback. The overview shows cumulative feedback for the learner based on their teacher feedback, self-reflection, and peer feedback at different stages. Finally, learner does post-project reflections and notes down takeaways from the project. Part C is for problem-based inquiry that is done individually by the learner. The teacher plans the task and aligns it to subjects, curricular goals, competencies, and integrates it with different pedagogies. A task prompt is shared with the learners, post which they brainstorm and create guiding questions. They also create a research schedule. In stage 1, teacher assessment and learner reflection at this stage are about the brainstorming and planning process. Stage 2 has teacher assessment and learner reflection. By this stage, the learners have completed a first draft based on the prompt. Stage 3 has teacher assessment and peer feedback. The overview shows cumulative feedback for the learner based on teacher assessment, their self-reflection, and peer feedback at different stages. Finally, learner does post-task reflections and notes down takeaways from the task. Part D is for classroom interactions. The teacher plans the classroom interaction and aligns it to subjects, curricular goals, competencies, and integrates it with different pedagogies. A task prompt is shared with the learners, post which they brainstorm. After the classroom interaction is done, there is teacher assessment, learners' reflection, and peer feedback. The overview shows cumulative feedback for the learner based on teacher feedback, their self-reflection, and peer feedback. Part E is the journey of the learning through online courses during the year. Part F is intended to provide some insight into the time spent by learners on various parts of different activities that contribute to their evaluation. At the end of each year, the teacher would maintain the student's competency profile by recording the learner's progress based on their performance level in various key competencies. Let's hear from the users of the Holistic Progress Card. What do you like about the HPC?
It has helped me create a proper timetable and manage my time better.
I love doing the group project works. My peers gives me useful feedback.
What motivates you to use the HPC regularly?
I find assessing learners at each stage of my project useful. I can give immediate and useful feedback to my learners at each stage.
Parag hopes that the Holistic Progress Card at the secondary stage will make learners lifelong learners and prepared for their future.